Let's see. Post questions below. Good evening. How y'all doing? Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. All right, so post your question below. What's up, Talia? I just walked in the house, so I'm about to try to figure this out real quick. Let's see. Post your question below. What's up, Mike? Post. All right. Shawanda. Pin comment. All right. Got it. I literally just walked in the door, so I came straight to the computer. I didn't get to go over my notes like I wanted to, but it's okay. Gonna make this work. Tonight we talking about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is one of my is a topic near and dear to my heart. So tonight I'm gonna cover quite a bit. Well, yeah, quite a bit. So tune in, stay tuned to the end, please. What's up, Julia Jack in the building? Pretty little lawyer, I see you. All right. So given that I just walked in the house, I need to get some stuff together. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm really excited about this topic of entrepreneurship, because tomorrow is the day. Well, last year, as of what's tomorrow? December 16th of last year is the day that I quit my job. I fired my job, and it was amazing. I've been doing this full-time entrepreneurship thing for a whole year now, and it's a blessing, and I love it, honestly. It's been amazing year, and I honestly should have done it sooner. I was just scared. I had way too many limiting beliefs that I needed to just overcome first before I could do that. So I need you to do me a favor. If you hate waking up to go to your 9 to 5, go ahead and heart this message. Give me a little like, or whatever they call it on here. If you wake up every morning and you tired of going to work for somebody else, go ahead and give me a like right quick. Type a 1 in the chat. Either one will work. I'm just curious. But yeah, one year ago today, a blessing. So I normally post like leading up to the week. I always post a question about the topic for the night. So this week's question, question I posted in the stories was, what concerns do you have about entrepreneurship? And some people responded and they said, people having to rely on me for their income. I get it. That's definitely scary. I had the same, fear or concern. Another one was having to be consistent. And my answer to that is, like, you got to motivate yourself. You got to find that why. Like, why do you wake up to go to work? Why do you wake up to run your business? Like, whatever that why is. I know people say it all the time. It's cliche, but it's true. Like, for instance, with me, I work as hard as I do because I want to make sure my family's taken care of. That's my why. Like, I trick myself into, like, let me give you an example. I trick myself. So, like, some mornings, I wake up at 5 every day, even on the weekends. Some mornings I don't feel like waking up, but I say to myself, I'll be like, if I don't wake up this morning and go do what I need to do to, advance the business, then my son's going to be hurting for this in the future. Like, I trick myself with ways like that. So you got to make it, attach something way bigger to it. You know what I'm saying? So that was one. Another, somebody said, was lack of financial security. And that's true, too. You eat what you kill in this business, or in entrepreneurship in general. It's not for everybody either. Not for everybody. And the last one somebody said was expensive health insurance. Yeah. I went from paying $150 a month for government health insurance, federal government health insurance, to now $1,400 a month. So I went from $150 a month health insurance to $1,400 a month. So, but I ain't gonna lie, like, I'm not gonna let that insurance stop me from chasing my dreams. You know what I'm saying? So that's you just gotta go out and make more money. That's how I look at it. So if y'all don't know, my old job, I used to work as a bank examiner for the federal government. I used to make 6 figures working for the federal government, working from home. And I quit because it's something bigger to life than working for the man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't enjoy it. I absolutely hated it. Hate going to work. This tonight we sponsored by Knob Creek. This is a Knob Creek Old Fashioned, you dig? But let me show y'all something. Let's get into entrepreneurship. I got some graphics tonight. So the first one I want to share, and I hope you can see it all. Let's see. Share. All right, entrepreneur. So what is an entrepreneur? It's somebody who sees a new opportunity and creates a business to exploit it. As you'll see on the screen, that's just some traits of entrepreneurs. They have strong people skills, open-minded, confident, disciplined, self-starters, determined, creative. I'll say this, that entrepreneurship, it requires a lot of work and dedication, which everyone is not cut out for. You got to remember that. Entrepreneurs, they're highly motivated risk takers, and they have a vision and sacrifice a lot to achieve that vision. So it usually comes from a personal problem, and it's something that they want to solve. For example, Gary Morgan, he saw a few accidents occurring, and he went out and figured out a way to solve that problem. Now we have the traffic signal. He was the guy who started the traffic signal. That's usually how entrepreneurs come about. They have a problem, or they see a problem, and they find an opportunity to fix it. So let me show y'all something else. Last week on the live last week, I was trying to remember the quote. I couldn't remember it that I had found that day, so I went back and found it. But this is what it said. It said, the entrepreneur that makes a lot of mistakes will be a millionaire. The employee that makes a lot of mistakes will be fired. And that's true. That's so true. When in entrepreneurship, you learn by mistakes. So I encourage you to go out there. Don't be scared. I encourage you to go out there and make those mistakes and just course correct. You learn from it. So last week we was talking about escaping the rat race. I also mentioned how the government or the school system, it basically treats you, it shows you, you go to high school, you go to college so you can be an employee. It basically teaches you how to be an employee. But I want to show you something. I want to show you how employees actually pay more in taxes than business owners. Y'all want me to show y'all that? Glad you said so. All right, let me show y'all something. I put this graphic together, right? So let me show y'all something real quick. So when it comes to employees versus business owners, I know my face is on the screen. The right side just says business owner. Let's look at the left side, though. Let's focus on that. Let's start there. So let's just assume both people are getting $1,000 a month. All right. So let's do the employee side. So the employee gets $1,000. The government takes their taxes off the top. So let's just say 20% in this case. So they take $200 off the top before it even touches you. By the time it gets to you, you're left with $800. All right. So you have your $800, but now you got to go out and buy your groceries, pay for your cell phone bill, your car note, rent, whatever it is. So that's $800 in this example. I'm sorry, that's $750 in this example. So you're left with $50. So at the end of all that, after you spend your money, you're left with $50. Now let's look at that. You done paid $200 in taxes because they took their money off the top. All right, now let's look at the right side, the business owner. The business owner making $1,000 a month, just like the employee. However, the business owner has those same expenses, $750. Those, car note, cell phone bill, whatever it is. They're left with $250. The cool thing about it is they pay taxes on whatever is left. So as you see here, now we have the 20% tax. That's $50. So let's compare that to the employee. The employee paid $200 in taxes, whereas the business only paid only $50 in taxes. And they left, you see here, the cash flow is more, $200 a month. So that's why I made a video about this where you should strive to become a business owner. And that could be like a small business. It don't have to be nothing grand. You just have to figure out a way that you can make a profit and then transform some of your normal expenses into business expenses. So like a car, I drive my car for my business. So now my business pays for that car as opposed to me personally. It's not coming out of my personal funds. It's coming out of my business funds. And I wanted to do that because now I'm getting the opportunity to write all them off as expenses before I pay my taxes. So that's why it's important to become a business owner. I hope you can see the difference and the value in this and how you would save more in taxes and you will have more money at the end of the day if you can start figuring out a way to create a business and then finding those personal expenses that could become business expenses. And to become a business expense, I'm not a CPA, but I know a little something. You just have to find those expenses that's necessary and ordinary in your business to create a profit. All right. So remember that. So phone, home office, things like that, you can become business expenses. All right. So I hope that made sense. If it doesn't, post below and I'll try to further explain. But I just want you to know the tax code is written for business owners because they provide jobs. Those jobs in turn produces income that the government can tax. Also, those jobs help people to become satisfied so we don't have any civil unrest. If we didn't have any jobs, then they'll have a lot of unemployed people out here who will probably, be some civil unrest to the government. So the tax code incentivizes business owners. Get you a business. All right, start a business. It doesn't have to be grand. Like I said, it could just be a little side hustle that you can run some expenses through legally. All right. So just think about starting something that you're passionate about and believe you can make a profit from it. Like I said, home, cars, things like that. But all right, let me switch to another graphic. So real quick, pros. Let's talk about the pros of entrepreneurship. So freedom, number one. I do what I want. You know what I mean? Like I remember, I don't have a boss to report to. In my prior job, I remember when I wanted to take trips on the weekends, I used to always have to worry about when I'm going to be back. I got to make sure I'm back Sunday night so I can go to work on Monday morning. I don't give a fuck about that now. I do whatever I want. Like, I can travel. I don't have to worry about coming back for Monday morning. Like, I do me. That's the freedom of entrepreneurship, is on you. Flexibility. I work the days and times that I want. I don't have a set schedule. I do me. You know what I'm saying? So that's the flexibility is key. Control. I decide what I want to happen in my realtor business. I choose what computer I want, what desk I want, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't have an employer telling me I have to do this. So that's another pro in my opinion. These are all my opinions. And then profits. Like, I take the risk and I reap all the rewards, the profits. Unlike an employee who you're out there working and producing output but not being paid equally for what you work, right? For what you're producing. There has to be a profit in there because the company has to, eat. They're never going to pay you what you work, period. As an employee, you're never going to be paid what you work. They'll just pay you enough to keep you happy. Remember that. All right. Cons. I got it. All right. So cons. It's literally all on you. I'm a one-man shop over here. I'm the CEO, CFO, COO. I'm all that. So I'm a one-man shop. That's the cons. Oh, I switched it to the pros. My bad. Hold on. Let me go back. Cons. There we go. I'm responsible for everything. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to be responsible as an entrepreneur. You're responsible for all your business. Health insurance. You're responsible for the results of the business. Everything. The risk, too, is all on you. Like I already told you, I quit a job making $120,000 a year, working from home, working for the government, for government benefits. Like, who would do that? I would, because I had a bigger purpose. I had a bigger vision. I didn't want to work for somebody. I couldn't do that 9-to-5 stuff. So, that's a risk that I was willing to take. And if you want to start a business, you want to become an entrepreneur, that's a risk you're going to have to, take. But I'm not saying go out there and just quit your job. Like, keep your 9-to-5. I did that for 14 years. Like, all I did was I worked that job while I funded my business until I got to a point where I was ready to, hop off, take that leap. So I'm not saying quit your job. Don't get it twisted. Just, consider entrepreneurship and be willing to work at the 9-to-5 and while you're funding your business until you get to that point where you can take off. And then the workload. So that one, you usually end up working more hours than you did at your 9-to-5. At least that's how I feel. I remember days at the 9-to-5 where they'll give me a task that I know I could get done in like an hour. I stretch that thing out the whole day. And I know y'all do the same because you're going to get paid the same no matter what. So, with the workload as an entrepreneur, and I'm fine with working more than, a 40-hour work week or whatever. I'm fine with that because it's my business. So that's something to think about. Like, that's the cons, but the pros further outweigh the cons for sure. So like I said, tomorrow makes a year that I quit, that I fired the job, the 9-to-5. Best decision ever. I'm blessed. I'm happy. It's on the right track. My realtor business, I appreciate all your referrals. What's up, Miss Patrice? I see you in there. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm sorry I ain't how I normally be tonight. I just got home from showing some houses, so I just jumped on. Anyway, next week we talking about the power of home ownership. So that's the topic for next week. I'm going to make sure I come prepared and I make sure I set down some time instead of just rushing to get on here like I did tonight. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about entrepreneurship or anything, I actually get my topics from you all. So whatever you want me to talk about, that's what I'm going to talk about because I like it. Real estate, personal finance, any of those. What's up, bro? Any of those, send it to me and that's what I'm going to talk about. So next week, the power of home ownership. I appreciate all y'all for joining tonight. We talked about entrepreneurship. If you have any questions, don't forget to hit me up. Seriously, just send me a message and I got you. Appreciate y'all. Have a good weekend.